here we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to open this meeting of the Mason County Commission for August 17th, and we will begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Nicole, would you do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Sure.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag in the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Thank you, Nicole. Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Excellent. Item number 4, correspondence of organizational business. Do we have any correspondence to come before us today?
We do. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following: a liquor license for Lake Nowatzel Resort and a marijuana license application for Royal Cannabis Production and Processing. Pamela Stevens Perez sent in a Veterans Advisory Board application. Terry Purcell sent in a letter regarding internet service to the Colony Surf Club in Lilliwap. The Department of Natural Resources sent in the 2021 notice regarding DNR urban/transition lands property.
Thank you. Membership. Who's handling that one? I don't see any of them on there. Sharon, would you like to take that one?
Sure. All right, Board of Mason County Commissioners is seeking applicants to fill an alternate position on the Mason County Board of Equalization. The 3-year term ends on May 31st, 2023. Applicants must reside in Mason County. The Board of Equalization is a 3-member board appointed by the Mason County Commissioners. 2 alternate members may also be selected. The board's responsibility is to ensure that all property valuations are at 100% of market value, so equitable tax assessment can be established. Taxpayers may appeal their assessments, including assessments of real and personal property, forest land, timber, and open space. The board also considers denial of senior citizen property tax exemptions. Taxpayers can file a petition with the Board of Equalization, and a hearing will be scheduled to present their appeal of their assessment for timely filed and completed petitions. Depending on the number of appeals heard each year, the board may meet up to 3 days a week throughout the year. Board members are paid a per diem, currently $100 per day when in session. As required by RCW 84.48.042, the successful applicant must attend training provided by the Washington State Department of Revenue within 1 year following appointment or reappointment. Interested citizens may obtain an application at the Mason County Commissioner's Office, 411 North 5th Street, Shelton, or by calling Shelton 360-427-9670, extension 380, Belfair 360-275-4467, extension 380, and Elma 360-482-5269, extension 380. Or visit the Mason County website at www.co.mason.wa.us. The position is open until filled with first review August 31st, 2021.
Madam Commissioner, thank you for stepping up and taking that on short notice. Item number 4.3 is our news release. Park host needed for Mason County Walker Park, and that's going to be Ross McDowell.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We do have a news release where unfortunately we're losing not only 1 but 2 of our park hosts. They have been excellent park hosts. I'd like to say that right ahead here. They were long-term park hosts for us, and we sure are going to miss them. But Mason County Parks is recruiting an on-site park host caretaker for Walker Park. The county provides a free 2-bedroom, 2-bath modular home, water service, power service, and septic at no charge. Caretakers are responsible for opening and closing the park, site security, customer service, cleaning restrooms, and light maintenance duties in the return for the residents and utilities. There is no salary or pay associated with this opportunity. Mason County Parks and Trails is looking for a person or persons who are willing to work nights, weekends, holidays, can physically make rounds of the park and have good communication skills and customer service skills, including the ability to remain calm and friendly when confronted with problems. Walker Park is located in Shelton on Walker Park Road. What a surprise. Okay, the park has a child playground, nature area, a picnic shelter, basketball court, and restrooms, and is also right up onto the water itself. Caretakers need to be present in the evenings, Monday through Friday, and all day on weekends year-round. Please apply by completing a park host application located on Mason County webpage at http://www.co.mason.wa.us/forms/parks/index-php. Or easier, contact Ann Voice at 360-427-9670, extension 535, with any questions or to get a copy of the application.
Thank you, Ross. Now I'm going to give you an opportunity on item 4.4 to do the same thing for the Mason County Oakland Bay Park. But if you would like, you could also just touch on the highlights that separate the difference. So you don't have to read the whole thing again. I will leave it to you as your option, your choice.
That would be fantastic. I would appreciate that and speed it along. We also have a parks opening at Oakland Bay. The difference here is a successful candidate must provide their own RV, and the county provides water, power, and septic at no charge. Same caretaker's responsibilities. This is a different kind of a park. This is a natural park or a nature park with quite a few trails through the park. Oakland Bay is located in Shelton in the 1500 block of East Agate Road. The park is 81 acres with several walking trails, historic house, and restrooms. This park is under Capital Land Trust and is a conservation area. Caretakers need to be present in the evenings, Monday through Friday, and all day on the weekends. Again, you can get a park host application on the county's website under http://co.mason.wa.us/forms/parks/index-php. Or once again, you can contact Ann Voice at 360-427-9670, extension 535. Thank you. These will be open until filled.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Mackenzie, is there any other organizational or correspondence to come before us today?
No, there is not.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move forward to item number 5, which is our open forum for citizen input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission on any item that is not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, we ask that you wait. You'll be given an opportunity to take it off for a separate vote, and you'll be given an opportunity to speak at that time. With that being said, please keep in mind it's a 3-minute maximum per person, 15-minute time limit for everybody, so please be brief. So now is the time. If you would like to speak to the commission on an item not on the agenda, please raise your hand on the chat in the participants area. I see none. If you don't know how to use that, if you would like to unmute yourself now and say your name, I will call on you. If you'd like to unmute and say your name, I will call on you if you'd like to speak to the commission on any item not on the agenda. Hearing none, seeing none, I'm going to move forward to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the adoption of today's agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes for August 2nd, 2021 briefing minutes and June 29th, 2021, July 6th, 2021, July 20th, 2021, and August 3rd, 2021 regular minutes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the minutes as presented, August 2nd, 2021 briefing minutes, June 29th, 2021, July 6th, 2021, July 20th, 2021, and August 3rd, 2021 regular meeting minutes as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Up next is on the approval of the action agenda. All items on the action agenda will be voted for on one vote unless it is taken off for a separate vote. We're going to go ahead and read the items into the record. After we read the items into the record, you'll be given your opportunity to ask a question to help you make that decision, whether you want to take it off for a separate vote, or we'll have it taken off for a separate vote. And again, if you want to testify, please take it off for a separate vote. With that being said, I will read item number 8.1 through 8.4. Commissioner Trask, if you would read item number 8.5 through 8.7. And Commissioner Schutte, item number 8.8 through 8.10. Item number 8.1, approval warrants treasurers, electronic remittance, claims clearing fund, warrant number 8082102 through 8082235. The amount $864,755.49. Warrant number 8082326 through 8082332. The amount $47,633.13. The direct deposit fund warrants number 79767 through 80162. The amount $770,459.64. Salary clearing fund warrants number 7006083 through 7006116. The amount $1,010,432.81. Treasurer electronic remittance $771,983.50. Item number 8.2, approval to hire and post a full-time information service technician position starting November 1st, 2021, using current IT funds and retain the information service technician position for 2022 to replace the retiring system administrator position. Item number 8.3, approval to call for request for proposals, RFP, for the 2022 Visitor Information Center Services and Director of Tourism Services for 2022 and 2023. Item number 8.4, approval to purchase the Power Store 1000T Storage Area Network SAN with the 3-R750 servers for additional data storage.
Item 8.5, approval to appoint Brenda Hershey as a regular member to the Mason County Board of Equalization to fill a vacant position with a term ending May 31st, 2024. Item 8.6, approval for the Noxious Weed Control Board Coordinator to sign the contract with Washington State Department of Agriculture, number K3547, for a project to control invasive knotweed within the riparian corridors of Mason County. Item 8.7, approval to close Homer Adams Road from Monday, August 23rd, 2021 to Friday, September 3rd, 2021 to complete County Road Project 2001 for a culvert replacement.
Item 8.8, approval to set a public hearing for Tuesday, September 14th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. to consider an amendment to the 2018 Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan, adopting a contamination reduction and outreach plan. Item 8.9, approval of the contract with Dr. Carrie Gardner for health officer services. And item 8.10, approval to sign the general release and settlement agreement by and between Grump Ventures LLC and Mason County. The parties agree to a settlement of all matters, claims, and counterclaims arising out of or related to Grump's action in the United States District Court for Western District of Washington as cause number 320 CV 05628 TSZ, and all matters, events, occurrences, and actions and omissions set forth or described therein, or which might or could have been set forth and described therein.
Thank you, Commissioners. Now that all the items have been read to you, is there anybody in the audience who would like to ask a question that would help them to decide whether or not to take something off for a separate vote? Again, if you want to testify, we'll be taking it off for a separate vote. Does anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand. I see no hands. Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you. Hearing none, I would like item number 8.10 taken off for a separate vote. Commissioners, would you like any items taken off for a separate vote?
No, but I do have a question for staff.
Oh, please. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. This is probably either for Frank or Ross regarding the storage, the servers for storage. Can you just clarify where that's going to be funded out of, and the budget impacts it has, how much it costs, but can you just talk briefly to where we're paying that out of?
Hi, this is Ross. Reference the sands that are coming out. That would be That would be coming from the ARPA. It is portion of the, I believe that's out of ARPA. I want to make sure that with Jennifer Byerly. Is that correct, Jennifer?
That's my understanding, yes, that it will be paid for out of ARPA funds. I
Right.
believe.
And that is correct. The intent is that that comes out of the ARPA funding.
So did we discuss that yesterday in briefing when we went over the ARPA funding? And is that already factored into the $1.3 million that we have remaining in that first round of funding?
Let me take one quick look. We didn't discuss it yesterday.
It was the meeting before that.
It was the meeting before that.
So the other, as you're looking that up, the other element to this that I want to just urge some caution on, think the purchase is absolutely necessary and warranted. However, at the IT steering committee meeting, one of the issues I raised with paying for this out of the ARPA funding is that there are ongoing costs. And so there needs to be some clarification of what is the capital purchase and where the maintenance is going to come from on this once the ARPA funding is no longer on our books. And so I want there to be some clarity around that particular issue.
So to answer the first question, it was approved as part of the purchasing in the previous meeting regarding ARPA funding. And your request as to the long-term maintenance, Ross, what are the maintenance charges for a SAN? I don't think there are long-term maintenance charges. It's just the initial capital cost.
That's correct. It's built into the capital cost on that you usually get a 3-year to 5-year maintenance with it.
And the maintenance component, now I'm talking about the maintenance for the hardware itself, is a minor part of the price of that component. It's a couple of $1,000s a year.
That is correct. Yes.
Commissioner Schutte, does that answer your question, or would you like it taken off for a separate vote?
So, Frank, are you saying that we voted on this on August 3rd in the other ARPA funding that we had put forward?
Yes, that was not voted technically, but it was agreed to at the briefing to be included in ARPA funding.
Okay, and that's factored into what you have remaining on that?
Correct.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, your call, Commissioner Schutte. Would you like a separate vote, or are you comfortable with explanations?
Well, I'm not going to call for a separate vote. I mean, and I hear the explanations. I'm just, so I'm not going to pull it off. I think we need to purchase it. I'm just not sure that we need to purchase it out of ARPA money, but if that's the decision, then that's the decision.
Okay.
If I may, going back to the model, that was added. And so I'm sorry, no, it is not part of what's in the available funding.
So we can look at this, we can look on how it's funding, because that's not part of the.
Yeah, no, I just double checked the math in there in that spreadsheet, and it is not part of what was assigned to be purchased from ARPA at the last meeting. We talked about including it, but the mathematics, I didn't include that in the to be purchased component of the price.
And in the actual motion that's before us, there is not a specification on how it will be paid. So I think we could still choose a method of payment at our next briefing.
Or we could table it until we get all of the details together as to how to pay for it.
Well, because it's on the agenda, we either pass it or don't pass it. Or have a motion to table it after if it's pulled off. So again, we could also just agree to that it's covered, because it doesn't say where it comes from, and then have a decision point of where it comes out of. At the very minimum, I would expect it's going to come out of the general fund anyway, and I would have no issue with that if we have that discussion. We also have IT funds that are put out there too. Commissioner Schutte, it's in your camp. How would you like to?
So I'll support it today if we can have that conversation on Monday.
I'd be happy to have that conversation. Commissioner Trask, you'd be agreeable to having that conversation?
I would. I see it on the list, so if we could make sure that we highlight that for further discussion, that would be great.
Yes.
Will do.
All right, with that, are there any other items we'd like taken off for a separate vote other than item number 8.10? Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of today's action agenda items 8.1 through 8.9 with 8.10 removed for a separate vote.
I'll second.
It has been moved and second for the approval of the action agenda as presented with the removal of 8.10. So that's the approval of 8.1 through 8.9 with the removal of 8.10 for a separate vote. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay. The motion carries. We'll move on to item number 8.10, approval to sign a general release and settlement agreement by and between Grump Ventures LLC and Mason County. The parties agreed to a settlement of all matters, claims, and counterclaims arising out of or related to Grump actions in the United States District Court for Western District of Washington as cause number 320 CV 05628 TSZ, and all matters, events, occurrences, and actions and omissions set forth or described therein, or which might or could have been set forth or described therein. Just for the record, so everybody is aware, to avoid, to remove even the slightest perception of any type of conflict, I will be abstaining from the vote. So just be aware of that. I will not be voting on this. With that being said, Tim, would you like to touch on any of this as a description, or is the description enough?
Well, the description's good, and I thank everyone for getting it on quickly. Things move fast. It's an agreement, straightforward agreement where Grump agrees to release all of their claims as set forth in their complaint in the federal case. We will be, if approved, paying them $10,000 through the risk pool insurance that we have for the settlement of all of those claims. It's been a long time coming. It's a fantastic deal, in my opinion, and it's very straightforward. So that's all I have. Unless you have any other questions.
Commissioners, first, do you have any questions for the staff presentation?
Nope.
Hearing none. Is there anybody in the audience who has any questions for the staff's presentation? If so, please raise your hand. No hands. I will allow you to unmute yourself and say your name, and I can call on you. Hearing none, and we will move on to the next part. Is there anybody who would like to testify? If you would like to testify, please raise your hand on the participants link. I see none. Please unmute yourself and say your name, and I will call on you. I hear none. With that being said, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of item 8.10.
I'll second.
It has been moved and second for the approval of item number 8.10. Reading into the record one last time, approval to sign the general release and settlement agreement by and between Grump Ventures LLC and Mason County. The parties agree to a settlement of all matters, claims, and counterclaims arising out of or related to Grump actions in the United States District Court for Western District of Washington as cause number 3:20-CV-05628- TSZ, and all matters, events, occurrences, and actions and omissions set forth or described therein, or which might or could have been set forth or described therein. Wow, legal language, isn't it interesting? With that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? None, but there is one abstention. Please mark for the record the abstention. All right, next up. Item number 9, other business, department heads or elected officials. If you are a department head or elected official and would like to speak to the commission and the public at this time, I'm going to give you your opportunity. I'm going to ask you again first to please raise your hand if you know how on the participants list. I see none raising their hands. If you are a department head elected official who would like to speak, please unmute and say your name and I will call on you. I see none, so we will move on to item number 10. which is our public hearings set forth this time. I'm going to go ahead and open this public hearing. Item number 10.1, public hearing to approve budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2021 budget. Total adjustment to authorized expenditure appropriation in the general fund in the amount of $227,604 and a total adjustment to authorized expenditures appropriations in funds other than the general fund in the amount of $7,428,018. Staff, Jennifer Byerly.
Thank you, Commissioners. So this public hearing is to consider approval of budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2021 budget. Total requested adjustments to authorized expenditure appropriations in the general fund are $227,604, and total requested adjustments to authorized expenditure appropriations in funds other than the general fund are $7,428,018, as you just stated. And the detailed entries in the general fund in the following departments: Superior Court, an increase to revenue and expenditures of $2,991 for AOC funding for COVID-related expenditures. In the clerk's office, $18,000 increase to expenditures for jury supplies and postage expenditure increases due to COVID backlog. In support services, $5,000 increase to expenditures for extra help to cover the reception area. In courthouse security, increase of $88,847 in expenditures to add one armed officer and one unarmed officer for Building 10. In Superior Court, $35,000 increase to expenditures for jury fee increases due to COVID backlog. In Juvenile Court Services, a decrease of $19,000 and an increase in Superior Court of $19,000 in expenditures for the administrator moved out of juvenile and into Superior Court. In Community Development, an increase of $58,110 to expenditures for Burke-Belfair UGA Environmental Impact Statement amended contract. In Office of Public Defense, an increase of $19,656 to revenue and expenditures for Washington OPD funding for Blake Decision Matters. And in the special funds, we have in Community Support Services, Fund 117, an increase to revenues and expenditures of $3,019,883 for Treasury Rent Assistance Program grant funding. In Community Services Health Fund 150, an increase to revenue and expenditures of $304,000 for LHJ COVID OFM grant and COVID outreach grant funding. In REIT 1, we have an increase of $500,000 to expenditures for Building 10 remodel. Also in REIT 1, an increase of $309,385 to expenditures to pay off the interfund loan from County Road to REIT 1 for the lower half of Building 8. And also in REIT 1, $75,000 increase to expenditures for the MCSO gym remodel. And the last one in Belfair Wastewater and Water Reclamation Fund, an increase to revenue of $3,167,955 to revenue, and an increase of $3,219,750 to expenditures for the Belfair Sewer refunding of debt. Are there any questions?
Now, just if you don't mind, a clarification for the public out there on the calling it a gym remodel is this very simplification of what actually occurred over there. There was a lot that happened in that building for training and other things. I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, thank you.
All right, does anybody have any questions for staff regarding the presentation? Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions for staff in regarding to the presentation? If so, please raise your hand. I see none. Please unmute yourself and say your name if you would like to be called on. I see none. Then I will close that portion, unless commissioners, you have any questions? Then I will close that portion and move into public testimony. Is there anybody in the public who would like to testify at this time? Please raise your hand on the participants list. I see none. Please unmute yourself and say your name so I can call on you. I see none. Then I will close this portion because I don't see any public even there. So I'm simplifying these down a little bit just so everybody knows for the record. I usually ask several times. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this aspect of it and move to commissioner deliberation and or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the budget supplemental appropriation and amendments to the 2021 budget.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2021 budget. If you don't mind, I will read the numbers. Total adjustments to authorize expenditures appropriations in the general fund, $227,604. Total adjustments to authorized expenditures appropriations and funds other than the general fund, $7,428.18. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. That hearing is closed.
Commissioner.
Yes.
The last number was actually read incorrectly. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know if that's
Which number? Let's.
$7,428,018. It was read as 18 cents.
Oh, then for the record, we'll clarify, $7,428, $428,018.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, we definitely always want to clarify the numbers. No mistakes there. So next up, I'm going to open the hearing, a public hearing to approve the correction of the future land use map and official development areas for zoning map panel 3 of 10 for parcel number 22335-44-00000 from long-term commercial forest to rural lands with a designation zoning of rural residential 5 RR5. Staff Marissa Watson is presenting. Hi, Marissa.
Good morning. Good morning, commissioners. Hi. The Department of Community Development is bringing forward a correction to the future land use map and official development areas map panel 3 of 10. The current landowner, Mr. Van Giffen, contacted me in May with some concerns about how the zoning was appearing on our GIS mapping. And that is when I did some research into his parcel and found out that from our working maps from the mid-90s, it was actually designated as rural lands, not long-term commercial forest lands. Our department believes that it mistakenly got transferred over to our zoning Excel spreadsheets as long-term commercial forest land. The actual parcel had been in private ownership from at least the mid-80s. Like I said, it was shown on the future land use map and development areas map panel as long-term commercial forest land, although it was not designated as that in the working maps. We believe based on the absence of the subject parcel from the long-term commercial forest designation on any of the working maps and communication with a senior planner who was around during the time of the comprehensive plan update and who indicated that that parcel would not have qualified as long-term commercial forest lands at that time. We believe that it was mistakenly transferred over to the Excel spreadsheets, and then that mistake was transferred over into the GIS mapping as well. I'm just going to share my screen with the location. As you can see here, the parcel up here highlighted in the green, that is the parcel that we are talking about today. And then stop my share, and I'll show you also, this is the working maps, as you can see down here in the circled orange. The red indicates rural lands, whereas the green dashed lines here are all long-term commercial forest lands. So, and so we are just asking that the maps are the future land use map and the official development areas map panel 3 of 10 are corrected to show that that particular parcel is rural lands with a designation of rural residential 5. And then if you have any questions, I can answer those.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marissa. Commissioners, first, do you have any questions for staff in regard to the presentation?
Do not.
I see none. Is there anybody in the public who has any questions to staff regarding their presentation? If so, please raise your hand. I see none. Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you if you would like to ask a question of staff regarding the presentation. I see none. Hearing that, I will close staff presentation, move into public testimony. Is there anybody in the public who would like to testify on this issue? Please raise your hand. I see none. Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you. I see none. I close this part of for public testimony and move into commissioner deliberations and or motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the following reason, the map correction for parcel 22335-44-00000 to correct the future land use map and official development areas. Map panel 3 of 10 from long-term commercial forest to rural land with the designation of rural residential 5.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of regarding parcel number 4, or regarding parcel number 22335-44-00000 to approve the map correction to the future land use map and official development area zoning map panel 3 of 10 from long-term commercial forest to rural lands with the designation of rural residential 5 zoning, RR5. Are there any further comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify please by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. The hearing is closed. Next up would be our board reports and calendars. Commissioner Trask, if you wouldn't mind leading us off, Commissioner Schutte, and then myself.
Okay. Today I have we're the Public Works Board, we're interviewing for a lobbyist, so that'll be today and tomorrow. We also have our MTA board meeting this afternoon, EOC meeting tomorrow morning, options meeting tomorrow, and then also the Public Works Board lobby debrief on Thursday, an all-day Turning Point board meeting, and then also a Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting and DNR beneficiary meeting moving into next week. Want to wish one of our good friends happy birthday on Sunday, a couple of them actually. And we have our county briefing on Monday, Wasatch Virtual Assembly. Then we have the EOC meeting, Community Action Council, Public Works Board Executive Committee. Those are weekly. Let's see, the Sheriff's Breakfast. And we're going to get together with our family on Saturday because I miss them terribly. And then we have our briefing, Wasatch Virtual Assembly, and then we're back for a commission meeting.
Okay, we have Mason Transit this afternoon. Also have a meeting of the Hood Canal Coordinating Council. Be meeting with the Arc of the Peninsulas, Thurston Mason BHASO Governance Board meeting, Alliance for Healthy South Sound Executive Committee meeting, and then briefings on Monday. Also have a meeting with the EDC, Port of Shelton, and Fungi Perfecti. Also be doing a ride along with one of our sheriff's deputies next week, as well as attending the sheriff's breakfast, and then have my regular check-in with the Army Corps of Engineers on the Skokomish Valley project, and then back for our briefings and a staff check-in with the Thurston Mason BHASO ahead of our next regular meeting on the 31st.
Excellent. Okay. This past week, we were together at different things such as the Mason Transit Authority grand opening. And I also had several meetings with the Mason County Regional Housing Authority, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organizations. I met with the SBI Regional Director. I had a walkthrough with Chief Sperling up in North Mason in regards to the facility. We're hoping to get up there and work with up there about bringing services to North Mason. I met with the undersheriff in regards to the jail and other issues, WASAC virtuals, EDC meeting, audit committee meeting, Gorse Coalition was a wonderful meeting. And I really think that something's going to be happening there shortly to fix that bottleneck up there will help our economy and our community. Canvassing board, I want to thank Commissioner Trask for her service on the Turning Point. It happens to be one of my personal favorite organizations we have in our community, and the public needs to know she does that on her own time as a private citizen. And we need to thank people like that stand up to represent such a great organization. So thank you, Commissioner. Mason Transit Authority coming up after this, canvassing board meeting after this today. Green Diamond is having an event that I'll be attending. I don't know if the other commissioners will be there or not. Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, one of our staff members' daughter's getting married. I don't know if anybody else tends to be there, but I wanted just to put it out there. Briefings, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization is also meeting with WashDOT on some issues. North Mason Community Voice was able to stay alive, and they got some new board of directors they'll be having a meeting. North Mason Chamber, Hood Canal Lodge, and that brings us back to briefing and starting all over again. With that being said, is there anything further to come before us today? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned. Have a great one, everybody.
Take care.
You too.